Once you understand that the name for God in Hebrew is El or Elohim, you start to see why a song like Noel would become popular around the holidays. Look, today's video is going to be a little long, but I promise this will be worth the watch and it will blow your mind. Because we know that the synagogue of Satan's goal is to get people away from the Father. And by singing Noel, Noel, you are linguistically denouncing El, Elohim, or the Father. But since we're talking about Christmas and we just had this pagan holiday pass, let's talk about it real quick. So we know that Santa is really an anagram for Satan. I think it's pretty obvious when you look at it. And especially since everything we've looked into about Satan is that Satan is trying to be the Father. He is the false light, the false father, sometimes called Father Time, sometimes called Father Christmas, sometimes called the All-Father in Odin, usually depicted as an old man, with horns usually. You could also see him as the Baphomet, and Baphomet literally means Father Mithras. Again, another father-type deity. So knowing that Santa is Satan, we need to look at who Santa's elves are and see if we can make a connection here. So we all know that the synagogue of Satan is actually the Edomites, the children of Esau. And if you go back into the history and look at who Esau commingled with, he commingled with the Horites, who were cave-dwelling people and were more than likely Nephilim survivors of the flood that were living underground, showing that they're indeed some sort of an angelic Nephilim class. And when scripture lists the dukes of Edom, or the kings of Edom, however you want to read that in the Old English, when you look at it in the Hebrew, the word they use for king is not melech, like they normally would, but they actually use the word aleph. And aleph, like I've showed you guys before, on the paleo chart means the highest rank, the highest authority, the highest chieftain. So they were picking this name as a usurpation of the Father. You see in the word alephim, root word El, because thanks to the Masoretes, the word Al has become the word El. So yes, they're the alephim, but truly they're the Elophim, or the elves, the elves. So knowing that the synagogue of Satan is the Edomites, otherwise known as the elves, isn't it just so interesting that Satan and his elves are toppling society